Haribol, Chandra. So we are in the second chapter, first canto, second chapter. We were doing the, how many of you remember what we were doing? What we were doing last time? Yes? क्या कर रहे थे? शिवा?
Hearing process.
We are talking about the glories of hearing.
Glories of hearing. And we were also talking something else. Yes.
Varnashrama is for pleasing the Lord.
That is okay. But exactly you can tell what we were doing. But if Prabhuji has answered, he is here. He has answered. What we were doing exactly last week, what we were doing. Anyone? What we were doing last week? Manjiri, what we were doing last week? Vimala, Bindu.
Importance of hearing, Mataji.
Importance of hearing. That is what. But then-
Hearing process was glorified.
Nine process of devotional service.
Yes, 9 stages of
Association.
devotion. Till where we reached last time, till where we reached.
Ruchi.
Ruchi and Asakti we did. The first line was Ruchi, second line was Asakti.
19 sloka is about Ruchi, Mataji.
Ruchi as well as
Asakti.
So, somebody can say what are the stages? We did not only 9 stages, we are actually doing 14 stages of devotional service. 14 stages. So 9 we completed. We have completed more than 9. Just who can start? Last time I told you 2 extra things which comes to the platform of Shraddha.
Association and
mercy of devotees. Mercy of devotees and then mercy of devotees. So mercy of devotees and then we do service. And then
yes, mercy of devotees and service to devotees. Till now we don't know what is association. Somehow or other we got mercy. And somehow or other unknowingly we did some service. So because of that we got this stage of Adav Shraddha. Then what happens Adav Shraddha?
Then Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha. After Sadhu Sangha, what will happen? One more extra we did.
Bhajan Kriya.
Before that, Bhajan Kriya means service. Before that,
Hearing process. Shravanam.
Shravanam. Very good. Shravanam. It's always added. Shravanam. And after Shravanam?
Bhajan.
Bhajan Kriya start. Devotional
After Bhajana
service.
Kriya? After Bhajana Kriya?
Devotional service.
Nivrutti.
Anartha Nivrutti. Very good. Anartha Nivrutti. After that?
Ruchi.
Nishtha comes.
Nishtha.
Nishtha. Then
Ruchi.
Then Ruchi.
Ruchi, Asakti.
Asakti. 4, 3, 10 we did. Total 10 we have done. Right? Till now 10 we have done. Satam Kripa. We had put that verse also. Vrindavan Leela Mataji had put that verse. Satam Kripa Mahaseva Saddha Guru Padashrayah Bhajaneshu Spruha Bhaktir Anartha Pagama Satatataha Nitha Ruchi Atha Asakti. Now from here we are going to start. Rati Prema Darshanam. So next will be Bhava, that is Rati. Next is Rati. Then comes Prema. And after Prema, Darshanam. Lord gives Darshan. Also nice. When are we going to reach that stage? Harer Madhur. Yanubhavaha. And then one experiences Lord. One experiences Lord. When you see Lord, naturally you experience Lord. So that is the last 2 which has been added. So Rati, Bhavaha, and then seeing Lord and experiencing Lord. 4 things. Till now 10 we did. Mercy of Lord, I'll repeat. Write it down very nicely. There are 14 stages, not just 9 stages. 9 is just the beginning in Bhagavad Gita. But actually there are 14 stages. As a Bhakti Vaibhava student, you should know there are 14 stages. First is mercy of devotee. Next is service to devotees. You can write in bracket, knowingly, unknowingly, you have done it. Third is Shraddha. That is faith. Fourth is Sadhu Sangha. There comes association of devotee. Then you will say, how did mercy came? Unknowingly. Sadhu Sangha, knowingly. And then comes hearing from devotee. Then comes service to devotee, bhajana kriya, serving Lord, serving devotees, bhajana kriya. What happens then? Anartha nivrutti. All the dirty things are being washed off. Now we are in which stage? In which stage we are? Anartha nivrutti. All the dirty things are being washed up. What are the dirty things? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So many dirty things are there. And then comes nishtha, firm faith in devotional service. Let anything happen, I will not give up devotional service. Let me be insulted. No problem. Devotees are only insulting. Na? In the material life, your brother, sister, everybody insults. They cheat. In the temple, if we come, devotees cheat. So is it that we are going to give up? Sometimes we get cheated by the devotees. Don't. Even if devotees cheat, even if devotees scorn us, insult us, no problem. Nishtha. This is a test of Maya. Understand, there is a test in every time. Initially, there was a test even to come till the stage of Sadhu Sangha. Now, the test is from the Anartha Nivrutti. Now, your Anarthas have gone, but others' Anarthas have yet not gone. So, they may have insulting nature. You can even identify that also. Oh, this person is insulting me. But then, I don't want to give it up because I just want to be in this process. What will happen if I give up the devotees, if I give association, if I give the shelter of Srila Prabhupada? Where will I go? Where is the place? You will say there are other sampradayas also. I can go there and take shelter. No, you can try out also. You can try out. But still, the love which Prabhupada has given, the love which ISKCON has, you cannot find anywhere. Then you say fight. Yes, fight also which ISKCON has. You cannot find anywhere. Politics which ISKCON has, you cannot find anywhere. But you have to relish. This is the relish because let it come. This is a challenge. Maya gives challenge in different ways. It is actually a challenge whether you have that faith. It's not that I took some shelter of Srila Prabhupada and I leave because somebody cheated me, somebody is insulting me. Let it happen. I will never give up Srila Prabhupada. I will never give up ISKCON. There should be the nishtha. And then comes ruchi. Ruchi means taste. The taste in the material life slowly vanishes away and the taste of the spiritual life increases. And then comes asakti. Yes. One is having now that complete attachment to get the service. We can say to get to be a dust in the lotus feet of Krishna. Why go till Krishna? First go near the devotees. Let us be the dust at the lotus feet of devotees. Automatically, the devotees will train us to be the dust in the lotus feet of Krishna. And then comes Bhava. That is Rati. In that Bhava, you are able to understand Krishna is going to appear. It is like the first ray of the sun. That is Arunodaya. Arunodaya implies Suryodaya is going to be there. In the same way, Bhava implies Prema will be there. The Prema's rays are seen in Bhava. Bhava and Prema, not much difference. But in the Bhava stage, one small anarthas all can be there. In that Bhava stage, that small anarthas has also to be removed. And then Prema. Completely now for Krishna. There is no, even not a small tinge of anartha. Then that is the time Krishna appears. Direct experience of Krishna. When are we going to reach that stage? Direct experience of Krishna. No, first direct vision of Krishna. Krishna will be there in front of us, talking to us, and that is direct experience. Vision and direct experience. How did Bilva Mangal Thakur write Krishna Karnam? That two eyes are not there. He has plugged his own eyes. Now, how did he write Krishna Karnamritam? That means Krishna has given the vision. How did a Babaji in Barsana draw Krishna's photo without having the eyes? Krishna's vision. Experience. So self-realized souls, pure devotees, they get the vision of Krishna. Krishna appears before them. It is a proof. Because we have not experienced, we can say, "How is it possible?" Yes, Krishna is a person. He is hearing us now. Is he not hearing us? Is he not showing mercy unto us? Then he is waiting when all our anarthas will go away. When will our taste increase? When our attachment will increase? And that is the time Krishna gives the power. Okay. So now Krishna is waiting. When are we going to complete Bhakti Vaibhava course? Because in Bhakti Vaibhava only we will study all. And then we have to apply. First we are studying. And then we have to apply our studies and develop that attachment to Krishna. Study, apply, and develop. That is the sad part, isn't it? SAD. The sad part, we don't want to study, we don't want to apply, we don't want to develop. But if we come out of that sad part, what will happen? We can study, we can apply, and we can develop the knowledge. Okay. Now we are in 20th verse. We have reached the stage of Rati Bhava. What happens at the stage of Bhava? Concentrate. Bade Prabhuji is also there. You can mark in present. He is there before me only, seeing something in the mobile. Just see, before me only sitting and seeing something in the mobile. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Sanjay Prabhu chant after me. Evam prasanna manaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogatah
Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata
Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam
Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam
Mukta Sangasya Jayate.
Mukta Sangasya Jayate.
We should always be in Prasanna Manasa. You know how much devotional service Sanjay Prabhu is doing? He is developing Chittod Center. So what is expected? Evam Prasanna Manaso. Always one should be in Prasanna Manasaha. And that is, Prasanna Manasaha means always be happy. Prasanna Manasaha. So Rati gives this. Rati means complete bhava. Nobody can serve without bhava. That bhava is there, that is why service is there. So Evam Prasanna Manasaha Bhagavat Bhakti Yogataha. In Bhagavad Bhakti, at that stage of Rati, one experiences Prasanna Manasaha. That is, in the Bhava stage, one is completely in bliss, Prasanna. He experiences that bliss. In other stages, there is some lamentation, some small lamentation will be there. Oh, usne ye bola, usne wo kaha. So many lamentations will be there. But in Prasanna Manasaha, we can see the example of Srila Prabhupada. He is ultimately in the stage of Prema. But all other stages are also there. Who is there in the stage of Prema? He is having all other stages also. So even if he was not treated very nicely in Gaudiya temples or his, when he was asking something, they were not fulfilling his expectations. He was not encouraged also. But still, Prabhupada is Prasanna Manasa. Even health was not proper. Health was not giving him the strength also, but still he's internally strong. Health is not proper. On top of that, people are also not cooperating. That means nothing was in the favorable situation. Health is not in the favorable situation. There's no cooperation even from the Indian public when he is trying to preach in Jhansi and all. So many criticisms he had to hear. Even when he went to West, he was hearing so many criticisms from the Brahmins, or you can say from Sampradayas and the Brahmins and Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But still, Prasanna Manasaha. Only at that stage, Prasanna Manasaha, Krishna is seen. Krishna is experienced. Why we are all doing all these things? Okay, we are preaching, we are doing some activities in Krishna consciousness. But what is the purpose? Ultimately, to reach that stage. Nobody is going to ask how much we have donated. Nobody is going to ask how much we have done. Ultimately, what is the goal of life? To reach that Krishna prema. And for that, these are all the means. So that when we preach, when we donate, we come out of the asakti. All these things are only a means to attain that stage. Suppose somebody has nothing to donate. He is so poor, he has nothing to donate. Or he must be not circumstantially very rich. But still, if he has that prema for Krishna, it is very easy to raise. So that is why evam prasanna manasa. Every situation, even there will be some house troubles, some social troubles. Bhagavat Bhakti Yogatah. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. He becomes well versed in Bhagavat Tattva. That means, what is Bhagavat Tattva? Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. So what is Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam? He realizes the Lord's form, Lord's qualities, Lord's powers, Lord's sweetness. So that is Tattva. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. Mute your phone. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. He realizes all this. He realizes the power, he realizes the pastimes, he realizes the sweetness of Krishna. He realizes the hand of Krishna in each and every aspect. Now, if you see the life of a devotee is completely cared by Krishna. The devotee has to realize that. In every aspect, devotee is cared by Krishna. One who has completely surrendered to Krishna, Krishna cares him. Krishna cares him in each and every step. Today somebody wrote me, Mataji, I'm going to hostel. I have got ISKCON devotees also there. And somehow in the hostel we have got Jain food because we all requested. I said, yes, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna protects the devotees. He provides everything which is not there and protects the things which are there. So if that faith has come, then we can progress in devotional service. So Tattva Vijnanam, Mukta Sangasya Jayate. So in this way, he is completely freed. Mukta Sangasya. That appearance of Vairagya comes. He is no more attached. If you open 1.2.7, open Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. What is that? 1.7, 1.2.7. Open 1.2.7. This Vairagyam has been told. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Yashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. So Janayati Yashu Vairagyam. Ashu means very quickly. What is attained? Vairagyam is attained. Here also what has been told? Mukta. Mukta Sangasya. Mukta Sangasya means Vairagya. Automatically he becomes Vairagi. What is the meaning of Vairagyam? Janayatiyashu Vairagyam. Then what is written? Janayatiyashu Vairagyam. Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. Ahaituki Jnana is attained. So what is Ahaituki Jnana? Can anyone say what is Ahaituki Jnana?
Causeless knowledge.
Huh?
Causeless knowledge.
Causeless knowledge. What is the meaning of causeless knowledge?
It's
Without any cause,
without any reason.
One of you. After Sanjay Prabhu, if someone else will answer. What is Ahaituki Jnanam? Yes, Sanjay Prabhu.
Without having any material motives.
Ah.
The knowledge which is
Without
having
any
no material motives.
Anyone else? Ahaituki Jnanam? No material motives in performing?
Any drive. without any dry philosophical speculations, and without any covering of fruitive action.
Yes, without any dry speculation. Ahaitukki Jnanam, completely focused. No dry speculation. Who will be Krishna? Is Krishna has form? Has Krishna has form? No form? Nothing. No dry speculation. Ahaitukki Jnanam. That is Vairagya. That is true Vairagya. No Ahaitukki Jnanam. Total surrender. Yes. Total surrender. Bhagavad says total surrender. Yes. And no motives. No material motives. Okay. So that has been given here. That 1.2.7 has been very nicely described. When that stage will come, Ahaitukki Jnanam and Vairagyam, when a person reaches the prema stage. The second line implies the prema. Second line is implying prema. First line was implying bhava. Here now prema. Like you love someone, in this material world you cannot love anyone. But still, if you love someone, then if you have some motives, then that is not a love. In the material world, there are motives. That is why it is not true love. Only to Krishna a person can have a true love. That means without any motives. Okay, 21st verse. Then we'll read both the verses, or you can start with reading the purport. Raksha Mataji, please read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.3, it is said that out of many thousands of ordinary men, one fortunate man endeavors for perfection in life. Mostly men are conducted by the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus they are engaged always in lust, desire, hankerings, ignorance, and sleep. Out of many such men like animals, there is actually a man who knows the responsibility of human life and thus tries to make life perfect by following the prescribed duties. And out of many thousands of such persons who have thus attained success in human life, one may know scientifically about the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. In the same Bhagavad Gita 18.55, it is also said that scientific knowledge of Sri Krishna is understood only by the process of devotional service. Bhakti
Yes,
Yoga.
only by process of devotional service, Krishna can be understood. And over thousands and thousands, practically 1,000 out of 1,000, one will be a jnani. Out of, again, you keep all the jnanis together, one becomes a person who is interested. 10 lakhs out of 10 lakhs. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit idati siddhaye siddhanam kaschinme yaktamaha. Only one person will be interested out of 10 lakhs. Again, those interested also have to undergo so many processes to reach that stage of seeing Krishna, experiencing Krishna. Okay, further, Gadi Mataji, next paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The very same thing is confirmed herein in the above words. No ordinary man or even one who has attained success in human life can know scientifically or perfectly the personality of Godhead. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit. And as soon as one understands that he has nothing to do with matter, he at once ceases his material hankerings and becomes enlivened as a spiritual being. This attainment of success is possible when one is above the modes of passion and ignorance, or in other words, when one is actually in Brahmana or by qualification. Brahmana is the symbol of the Sattva Guna or the mode of goodness, and others who are not in the mode of goodness are either Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, or less than the Shudras. The Brahminical stages is the highest stage of human life because of its good qualities. So one cannot be a devotee unless one at least qualifies as a Brahmana. The devotee is already a Brahmana by action, but that is not the end of it. As referred to above, such a Brahmana has to become a Vaishnava, in fact, to be actually in the transcendental stage. A pure Vaishnava is a liberated soul and is transcendental even to the position of a Brahmana. In the material stage, even a Brahmana is also a conditioned soul, because although in the Brahminical stage, the conception of Brahmana or transcendence is realized, scientific knowledge of the Supreme Lord is lacking. One has to surpass the Brahminical stage and reach to the Vasudeva stage to understand the personality of Godhead Krishna. The science of the personality of Godhead is the subject matter for study by the postgraduate students in the spiritual line. Foolish men or men with a poor fund of knowledge do not understand the Supreme Lord, and they interpret Krishna according to their respective whims. The fact is, however, that one cannot understand the science of personality of Godhead unless one is freed from the contamination of the material modes, even up to the stage of Brahmana. When a qualified Brahmana factually becomes a Vaishnava, is in the enlivened stage of liberation, he can know what is actually the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
So here, who is a Brahmana?
Brahman.
What is the meaning of Brahmana, or who is a Brahmana? Yes, who is a Brahmana?
He's a symbol of Sattva.
Raise your hand and then speak. Who is a Brahmana? Yes. Viren Prabhu?
He's in the mode of goodness, matlab, free from rajas and tamas.
One quality. He is in the mode of goodness. Next, who is a Brahmana? Who else can answer? Raksha Mataji. Raksha Mataji, unmute. Who is a Brahmana?
माता जी वही था सतोगुण में जो है वो ब्राह्मण.
ठीक है, जो सतोगुण में है वो ब्राह्मण. और who is a Brahmana? You're all Brahmanas.
He has to be, can I, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
May I?
He has to be a devotee.
Has to be a devotee. Who is a Brahmana?
A Vaishnava is a Brahmana.
Vaishnava is a Brahmana. Who is a Brahmana?
Brahmanati janati. Brahmana is one, Mataji. Brahmanati iti janati.
Yes, Brahmaniti janati Brahmana. Huh? Yes. Brahmaniti janati Brahmana. One who is interested to know that absolute truth. For that, the stages start. Sometimes it's fortune to get a birth in a Brahmin's house. It's a fortune. So he is known as Dvija. And now he has been born and he has got Upanayam Sanskar. So Dvija, twice born. He has got the initiation, twice born. And then he studies the scriptures, Vipra. He realizes the scripture, Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is one, even though not born in a Brahmin family, has realized the scriptures. That is why he is in the top rung of Brahmin, of the Brahmins. So who is a Brahmana? One who is interested to know the absolute truth is a Brahmana. Brahman iti janati Brahmana. We have done this when in the first chapter only we have done Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So Prabhupada speaks more on the topic, because Brahmana means one who has Satoguna, but we have to rise even beyond Satoguna. That is Vishuddha Sattvam, and in the Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Vasudeva can be experienced. Now, 21st verse. Vidyate hridaye granthis
Granthi
Vidyante sarvasamshayaha.
Shiyanti Shi Chasya Karmani Drashta.
I will tell you, repeat. Vidyate hridaye granthis. Then Prabhu, repeat. Vidyate hridaye granthis.
Vidyate Hridaye Granthis
Vidyante sarvasamshayaha.
Chityante Sarva Samshayah
Kriyante chasya karmani.
Shiyante Chasya Karmani
Drishta evatmanishware.
Dushta Evatmanishware.
Gita Mataji, repeat after me. Vidyate hridaye granthis. Gita. Okay. Manjari, Madhvi Manjari. Vidyate hridaye granthis.
Vidyate hridaya grandhis.
Chityante sarva samshayaha.
Chidyante sarva samshayah.
Shriyante chasya karmani.
क्रियन्ते चास्य कर्माणि
दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे.
दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे.
Kanna Prabhu, you tell or I will repeat.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
You tell or I will repeat.
Haribo. Vidyate hridaye granthi
Vidyate hridaye grantes.
chidyante sarva samshayah
Vidyante sarva samshayah.
kriyante cha karmani
Kriyante chasya karmani.
drishta evatmanishvare.
Daivatmanishware. So what happens when a person is seeing Lord, attain the stage of prema, and now is going to see Lord and experience Lord, then what will happen? Vidyate. Vidyate means pierced. What has pierced? Prema has pierced the heart. Granthi chidyante, and all the granthis, all the attachments, all the ignorance is completely cut off. Prema to Krishna has completely cut off all the ignorance. Kriyante chasya karmani, kriyante, everything, all the fruitive actions are completely stopped. Everything is stopped. Every doubt is removed. And then, Drishta evat manishware, Lord who is in the mind, who is oneself, who is oneself. For self is seen there. Proper nature. Who is oneself? Yes, who can answer? Mohit Prabhu. Who is one's self?
The individual soul, Mataji.
Individual soul is oneself. Who is one's soul? Or you can say the soul of the soul, can say.
Paramatma, Mataji. Super soul.
So one's self is Krishna. Soul is oneself. Okay. You can say I am soul. Who is my soul? My soul is Krishna. Drishta evat manishwari. One can see whom? Whom? The Lord who is there in the mind. He can see with his eyes. Lord can be seen with his eyes when all the things, because one has progressed in devotional service, has attained the stage of Rati and Prema, he can completely cut off all the ignorance, all the fruitive actions, and can see Krishna and experience Krishna. So that is why 14 process of devotional service, the 14 stages has been given here. So here, Spurti has been told. Spurti. Spurti means he can see. What is the meaning of Spurti? He can see Krishna in the mind and he can experience Krishna with his eyes. He can see Krishna in the mind and he can experience with his eyes. And this attainment is not impossible. That doubt has to be removed. So what is that doubt? Already many doubts have been removed. In the Anartha Nivrutti stage only many doubts have been removed. Here, which doubts are still remaining? Because somebody can ask, what happened in the Anartha Nivrutti then? Still that ignorance was prevailing or what? In the Anartha Nivrutti stage, there were some doubts. But now there is a doubt. Can I see Krishna? Prema is there. Even that doubt also is removed. Is it possible for me to see Krishna? Will really Krishna come before me? So even that doubt is removed. So that has been given. Even the doubt that attainment is impossible, even that is also destroyed. Krishna, who is the soul of all the souls, is seen. Then what will happen? Every karma, everything is removed. He is not interested in anything. He is only interested in seeing and experiencing Krishna. Okay. Now read the purport. Bhaktali Prabhu, please read the purport.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Your cup is cured?
Yes, much better, Mataji now.
Okay, read.
Yeah.
First paragraph.
Attaining scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead means seeing one's own self simultaneously. As far as the identity of the living being as spirit is concerned. There are number of speculations and misgivings. The materialist does not believe in the existence of the spirit self, and the empiric philosophers believe in the impersonal feature of the whole spirit without individuality of the living beings. But the transcendentalists affirm that the soul and the supersoul are two different identities, qualitatively one but quantitatively different. There are many other theories, but all these different speculations are at once cleared off as soon as Sri Krishna is realized in truth by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Sri Krishna is like the sun. The materialistic speculations about the absolute truth are like the darkest midnight. As soon as the Krishna sun is arisen within one's heart, the darkness of materialistic speculations about the absolute truth and the living beings is at once cleared off. In the presence of the sun, the darkness cannot stand, and the relative truths that were hidden within the dense darkness of ignorance become clearly manifested by the mercy of Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart as the supersoul. Should I continue, Mataji?
Okay. So what has been given? Krishna is sun, and when Krishna appears, naturally all the ignorance will automatically go away. Okay, Vimla Mataji, from here please read.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.11, the Lord says that in order to show special favor to his pure devotees, he personally eradicates the dense darkness of all misgivings by switching on the light of pure.
But now there is a doubt. Yes, sir. Bhagavad Gita 10.11, the Lord says.
Haribol?
Yeah, your voice is not audible.
Okay. Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.11, the Lord says that in order to show the special favor to his pure devotees, he personally eradicates the dense darkness of all misgivings by switching on the light of pure knowledge within the heart of a devotee. Therefore, because of the personality of Godhead taking charge of illuminating the heart of his devotee, certainly a devotee engaged in his service in transcendental love cannot remain in darkness. He comes to know everything of the absolute and relative truths. The devotee cannot remain in darkness, and because a devotee is enlightened by the personality of Godhead, his knowledge is certainly perfect. This is not the case for those who speculate on the absolute truth by dint of their own limited power of approach. Perfect knowledge is called parampara or deductive knowledge, coming down from the authority to the submissive oral receiver who is bona fide by service and surrender. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme and know him also at the same time. He reserves the right of not being exposed to such a challenging spirit of an insignificant spark of the whole, a spark subjected to the control of illusory energy. The devotees are submissive, and therefore the transcendental knowledge descends from the personality of Godhead to Brahma, and from Brahma to his sons and disciples in succession. This process is headed by the Supersoul within such devotees. That is a perfect way of learning transcendental knowledge.
Okay.
This enlightenment perfect.
Here, Shiva Prabhupada is emphasizing on the parampara. Through parampara, all the knowledge can be easily attained. Okay. Brinda.
Hare Krishna.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Vrindavan Leela Mataji.
Yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
Mataji is in Pandharpur.
Yeah, just reached Mataji, just returned. You want me to read Mataji further from there? This enlightenment perfectly enables the devotee to distinguish spirit from matter, because the knot of spirit and matter is untied by the Lord. This knot is called ahankar, and it falsely obliges a living being to become identified with matter. As soon as this knot is loosened, therefore, all the clouds of doubt are at once cleared off. One sees his master and fully engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, making a full termination of the chain of fruitive action. In material existence, a living being creates his own chain of fruitive work and enjoys the good and bad effects of those actions life after life. But as soon as he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord, he at once becomes free from the chain of karma. His actions no longer create any reaction. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Next. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudevi bhagavati kurvantyatma prasadani. Chaturvedi Prabhu, chant after me. Ato vai kavayo nityam
अतो वै कवयो नित्यं
bhaktim paramaya muda
भक्तिं परमया मुदा
vasudeve bhagavati
वासुदेवे भगवती
kurvantyatma prasadanim.
कुर्वन्त्या आत्मप्रसादनीम्.
Negi Mataji is there. Okay, Aruna Mataji, you chant, then I'll chant.
Hare Krishna. Ato vai kavayo nityam
Ato vai kavayo nityam
bhaktim paramaya muda
bhaktim paramaya muda
vasudeve bhagavati
vasudeve bhagavati
kurvantyatma prasadanim.
kurvantyatma prasadanim. Anita, unmute yourself. Possible, keep yourself in the video.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Chant. Chant. I'll chant after you.
Hi, Mataji, I don't have book in front of me because today was my first day, so from next week I'll be prepared for it.
Yes, she has lost her mother-in-law, so naturally we were serving her nicely. So Mataji, are you still traveling?
Yes, Mataji. I'll chant, Mataji.
You are with the book or you are in the roads?
No, I am having in the mobile, Mataji. I can read, I can chant.
Okay, chant.
Ato vai kavayo nityam
Ato vai kavayo nityam
bhaktim paramaya buddha
bhaktim paramaya muda
vasudeve bhagavati kurvanti atma prasadanim.
Yes. Atah, therefore. Now all the stages of devotional service has been spoken. Therefore, what will happen? Therefore means kavayaha nityam bhaktim paramaya muda. Muda means gives happiness. All these transcendentalists, kavayaha means the transcendentalists, what they have done from time immemorial, they have rendered service to Krishna, and by which they are experiencing great delight, muda. And also they are giving the great delight to Vasudeva, Bhagavati, by kurvanti. Kurvanti means by rendering service, they are giving pleasure to Krishna also. And it is enlivening. Devotional service is always enlivening. The more you serve, the more you experience muda. Muda means happiness. And what is that happiness? Beyond the happiness of this material world. That is why it is known as bliss. Ato vai kavayo nityam. Nityam means from time immemorial. It is not just now. Nityam, always. By serving, one experiences bliss and also gives bliss to Krishna. Okay. Angel, read.
The speciality of devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is specifically mentioned herein. Lord Shri Krishna is the Swayam Rupa personality of Godhead. and all other forms of Godhead, beginning from Sri Baldev, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, Pradyumna, and Narayan, and extending to the Purush avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Yoga avatars, and many other thousands of manifestations of the personality of Godhead are Lord Krishna's plenary portions and integrated parts. The living entities are separated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, Lord Shri Krishna is the original form of Godhead, and he is the last word in the transcendence. Thus, he is more attractive to the higher transcendentalists who participate in the eternal pastimes of the Lord. In form of the personality of Godhead, other than Shri Krishna and Baladev, there is no facility for intimate personal contact, as in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord at Vrajabhumi. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna are not newly accepted, as argued by some less intelligent persons. His pastimes are eternal and unmanifested in due course once in a day of Brahmaji, as the sun rises in the eastern horizon at the end of every 24 hours.
Now we have read one verse in Nectar of Devotion. What are the characteristics of pure devotional service? How many of you remember characteristics? 6 characteristics we had done. Chant, Mohit Prabhu.
क्लेशग्नि क्लेशग्नि शुभदा मोक्ष लघुकृत सुदुर्लभ सांद्रानंद विशेषात्मा श्री कृष्णाकर्षिणी च सा.
Very good. So we have 3 stages of devotional service. What are the three types of devotional service? You can say, 3 types. What are the 3 types of devotional service? Yes.
Mataji.
Sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, prema bhakti.
So Kleshagni Shubhada, who is experiencing? In these 6 characteristics, sadhana bhaktas are experiencing Kleshagni Shubhada. Then Bhava bhaktas?
3rd and 4th.
Only 3rd and 4th? Not 1 and 2?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha, Lakuta, Kruta, Sudurlabha. And in the stage of Prema Bhaktas?
1 to 6.
5 and 6 are added. What are the 5 and 6?
And Visheshatma.
Sandrananda Visheshatma. And then?
Shri Krishna Akarshani.
Just. Now Krishna is attracted to him. Krishna is coming behind him. That is why he is showing his face to him. See me, I am coming behind you. Experience me, I am coming behind you. Shri Krishna Akarshani Sasa. Till now he was running behind Krishna, now Krishna is running behind him. So we know the story of Ananta Alvar. Krishna ran behind him. When Ananta Alvar's flower was rejected by Krishna because he called Ananta Alvar and Ananta Alvar did not come in time, Govinda says, I don't want your flower. He says, no problem. Then he walks, then Krishna runs behind him. Hey, what is this? You're not afraid when I say get lost from here? I'm not afraid because you're also in a rented place. I am also in a rented place. So you are also in the Varaha Kshetra. You have also taken a rent here. So in this way, the love of Ananta Alvar's love for Ramanuja attracted Krishna. The more you love your Guru, the more you surrender to your Guru, the more you serve your Guru's words. Vapu Seva, Vani Seva. This Vani Seva automatically makes Krishna run behind the devotee. Srila Prabhupada got the fortune of doing Vani Seva. Vapu Seva he could not do much, but Vani Seva he was doing for his Guru. That made Krishna run behind him. And just fulfilling every task of Srila Prabhupada. 108 temples means more. And get to all these temples. We have to make one temple, we are just scratching our head. Now 23rd verse. Sattvam rajastama iti prakriter gunaiste Yuktaha Parapurushaha Ekaiha Sadatte Sthiti Yadaye Harivirinche Haran Hareti Samyaha Shreyamsi Tatra Kalu Sattvatanor Nunam Syuhu. Big verse, but this is the answer for the fourth question of the sages of Naimisharanya. Forgot first chapter or still remembering little bit? 6 questions raised by the sages of Naimisharanya. Who can tell all the 6 questions? Fatafat. Who can tell all the 6 questions raised by the sages of Naimisharanya?
Can I, Mataji?
Okay, Raksha Mataji.
First question is, what is the ultimate good for everyone? What is the ultimate good which satisfied everyone? And third one is why Vasudeva is Krishna is appear in the womb of Devaki. And fourth one is Leela Avatar, glorifying about
Kala.
Scriptures, essence of all scriptures.
Fourth is about Kala Avatar. Technically, we want to know about Krishna as Avatari. Avatari and Kala Avatar is also spoken. Yes.
Glorifying the Avatari. And fifth one is all incarnation of the Lord. And sixth one, the Dharma shelter.
Where did Dharma take shelter of? Okay. First 2 we have answered. First 2. Your very question itself is benefiting the whole world. The answer is given. The very question itself, that was given. Which was that verse? It was that verse which says
5.
Yes. The very question itself is wonderful. Who can answer? First questions. Which is the verse? Answer.
9 number, Mataji.
9 number? 9 number, 1.1.9 was a question. Answer is in
1.2.6.
1.2.6 or 1.2.5?
1.2.6 and 7, I think.
No, 1.2.5. Your questions itself are so wonderful. That is 1.2.5 is the answer for the first question. That itself is going to benefit everyone. And 1.2.6 is the answer for
question 2.
Question 2.
Second. Okay.
Though the beginning Prabhupada says for the first question, is technically for the second question. Ayatma suprasidati. Yenatma suprasidati. Savai punsam paro dharmo. Yato bhakti radokshaje. Ahaituki apratiyata. Yenatma suprasidati. Yayatma suprasidati. Now third question is still unanswered. Fourth question. That is Kala Avatara of Krishna. And describe Krishna as an avatari or Kala Avataras of Krishna. That is this answer. 23rd is the answer for the fourth question. Kala Avatara. Kala means Kala Avatara. Who are the Kala Avataras? Kala.
They are plenary portions of Krishna.
Plenary portions of Krishna. So Vishnu is plenary portion of Krishna, Vishnu. And then same appears as Guna Avataras. There is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. They're all Kala Avataras also you can call, or you can call as Guna Avataras you can call. So they are all the avatars which is happening for creation, maintenance, destruction. So that was our
expansion of expansion. Expansion of expansion. Kala Avatara, another definition is expansion of expansion.
Yes, expansion of the expansions. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are dealing with Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. But Vishnu does not deal with Sattva, not material Sattva. But Brahma comes in the mode of passion. That means Brahma is covered by the mode of passion or deals with the mode of passion. In one place it is said they are not covered. Here they are not covered, but they deal with mode of passion. Shiva also deals with the mode of ignorance. But Shiva is not in ignorance. I am not asking to repeat the words, but we'll be doing that. But let me first see the one verse first, one word. Sattvam, Rajas, Tama. Three things have been told. Sattvam, Rajas, Tama, iti prakruter gunaistain. Iti prakruter. In this material nature, guna. They are all these guna. What are the gunas? Sattvam, Rajas, and Tama. Sattvam, Rajas, Tama, iti prakruter gunaistain. Three gunas are there. Then yuktaha parapurushaha yuktaha. So purushaha, the supreme person. Purusha is only one. You cannot call Brahma and Shiva as Purusha. Purusha is only Krishna. And Vishnu is also Purusha. The plenary expansion is Vishnu. Yuktaha parapurushaha eka ihasya datte. Eka ihasya. In this material world, the Purushaha now gives power to Brahma to associate with Rajas for creation. Now gives power to Shiva to associate with Tamas for destruction. Eka ihasya datte. Eka, one Purusha is only there. It is not that he is giving power to Vishnu. He is only Vishnu, who is not associating with Sattva because he is automatically material Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is beyond material Sattva. He is completely, he is in complete Vishuddha Sattva. Okay. Sthiti Adaye. Why all this associating with the material nature, all these things, why that power is given? Sthiti. Sthiti means creation. Sthiti Adaye. Other things. Sthiti. Sthiti, creation, sarga, visarga, for the creation, for the maintenance. Sthiti Adaye. For creation, maintenance, destruction. Hari, Vishnu, Virinchi, Brahma, Hara, Shiva, iti samnyaha. So he appeared in these three different features. Shreyamsi, but devotee, what they should do? They should worship Brahma or what? Should they worship Shiva? Then you say, Hare, Brahma is our Adi Guru. Yes. As Guru. But we are not worshipping Brahma, considering him as the Supreme Personality of God. As our Guru Sampradaya, Guru, foremost Guru, we will worship. But a devotee, he will attain ultimate benefit. Shreyamsi tatra khalu. Shreyamsi tatra khalu. Sattva tanor, whose body is completely full of sato. The form is in quality of goodness. Which goodness? Vishuddha Sattva. He will only worship him. And who is he? Vishnu. Vishati iti sarvatraha Vishnu. One who cannot be stopped entering anywhere and everywhere is Vishnu, that is Krishna. That is, he is only Narayana. So out of these three, one will only worship Vishnu or Narayana. He will not worship other two because Brahma anyhow is coming in Jiva Tattva. He is a Jiva who has come from the navel of Krishna and he
Mataji, no voice.
So in this way, now you have understood the verse. Sattvam, Rajas, Tama. Have you understood? Sattvam, Rajas, Tama. Iti prakruter gunaiste. Yuktaha parapurushaha. Eka ihasya datte. That one Purushaha has Yuktaha, has made Brahma associate with passion. Has made Shiva associate with Tamas. Not, we cannot say has made himself associate with Sattva. No, he is beyond. Anyhow, he has Vishuddha Sattva. Sthiti Adaye, for creation, maintenance, and destruction. Sthiti Adaye. Hari Virinchi. Hari Virinchi. Hari Virinchi. Then Hare. Hare here refers to Shiva, Hara. So Hari Virinchi. Sthiti Adaye, Hari Virinchi, Hare. iti samya. So in this way, Lord has appeared in three features. Shreyansi tatra khalu sattvatanor nridamsi. Who has sattvatanor? Tanor means body. Whose body is completely made of Vishuddha Sattva, you will worship him. Shreyamsi tatra khalu. Shreyamsi means beneficial to worship him. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. Yato bhaktir adhokshaje. Who is that adhokshaja? Who has sattva tanor, whose body is completely made up of satoguna. This satoguna, Vishuddha Satoguna. So that answer is yes. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaytuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So whom to worship? This person, who is appearing in different forms. Avatari. This avatari, how is he appearing as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh? And Vishnu is only avatari. He is the one. His avatari here refers to he is the one who has, who is called as Vishnu, who is called as Narayana. He is non-different. So in this way, who will chant this verse? Vrindavan Lila Mataji, you chant, I'll repeat after you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sattvam rajastama iti prakrte gunaste.
Sattvam rajastama iti prakrter gunaiste.
Yukta parah purusha eka ihasya datte.
Yuktaha parapurushaha ekaihasya datte.
Sthiti adaye hari virinchi haret sangya.
Sthiti adaye hare virinchi. Hari virinchi hare na samya. Hare iti samyaha.
Mataji, it's samyaha or sangyaha?
Samyaha. Sthiti ade hare
virinchi hare tisang.
Hare hare iti samyaha.
Shreyamsi tatra khalu sattvatano nirnam suyuh.
Shreyamsi tatra
khalu sattvatano nirnam suyuh.
Ram of the human being. Okay. All the human beings, they can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. Arula, you chant the verse. I'll repeat.
Hare Krishna. Sattvam rajastamaiti prakrte gunaste.
Sattvam rajastama iti prakrter gunaiste.
Yukta para purusha eka ihasya datte.
Muktaha parapurushaha ekaihasya datte.
Sthiti adaye hari virinchi hareti samya sanjana.
Sthitiyade hari virinchi hareti samya.
Shreyamsi tatra khalu sattvatanor nirnam syuh.
Shreyamsi tatra khalu sattvatanor nrinam syuh. So all the human beings, they should worship the Lord who is full of sattva. That means among these three, Vishnu is worshipped for the Shreyamsi. What is that Shreyas? This is this Shreyas. The question was asked, what is the thing which is going to give ultimate benefit? This is going to give ultimate benefit. So knowing about that avatari who has appeared in three forms for creation, maintenance, and destruction. Mohit Prabhu, please read the purport.
Okay, Hare Krishna. That Lord Shri Krishna, by his plenary parts, should be rendered devotional service as explained above, is confirmed by this statement. Lord Shri Krishna and all his plenary parts are Vishnu Tattva, or the Lordship of Godhead. From Shri Krishna, the next manifestation is Baladeva. From Baladeva is Sankarshana. From Sankarshana is Narayana. From Narayana, there is the second Sankarshana. And from this Sankarshana, the Vishnu Purusha avatars. The Vishnu, or the deity of the quality of goodness in the material world, is the Purusha avatar known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu or Paramatma. Brahma is the deity of Rajas, passion, and Shiva of ignorance. They are the three departmental heads of the three qualities of this material world. Creation is made possible by the goodness of Vishnu, and when it is required to be destroyed, Lord Shiva does it by Tandava Nritya. The materialists and the foolish human beings worship Brahma and Shiva respectively, but the pure transcendentalists worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in his various integrated forms and separated forms. The integrated forms are called the integrated forms are called inte- wait, the integrated forms are called Godhead, and the separated forms are called the living entities or the jivas. Both the jivas and Godhead have their original spiritual forms. Jivas are sometimes subjected to the control of material energy, but the Vishnu forms are always controllers of energy. When Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, appears in the material world, he comes to deliver the conditioned living beings who are under the material energy. Such living beings appear in the material world with intentions of being lords, and thus they become entrapped by the three modes of nature. As such, the living entities have to change the material coverings for undergoing different terms of imprisonment. The prison house of the material world is created by Brahma under instruction of the personality of Godhead, and at the conclusion of a kalpa, the whole thing is destroyed by Shiva. But as far as maintenance of the prison house is concerned, it is done by Vishnu as much as the state prison house is maintained by the state. Anyone, therefore, who wishes to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries like repetition of birth, death, disease, and old age, must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. Lord Vishnu is worshipped by devotional service only, and if anyone has to continue prison life in the material world, he may ask for relative facilities from the different demigods like Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Varuna, etc. for temporary relief. No demigod can, however, release the imprisoned living being from the conditioned life of material existence except Vishnu. Therefore, the ultimate benefit may be derived from Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Now we have two verses in Brahma Samhita describing Brahma's position. Brahma is a jiva, in Jiva Tattva he comes, but Shiva is not a jiva. Shiva does not come in Jiva Tattva. Shiva cannot be called as Parameshwara also. He cannot be compared with Krishna. At the same time, he cannot be separated from Krishna. If Krishna is milk, then he is curd. Because Shiva comes in contact with Guna. That is why he is having, you can say, 80% of the attributes, 80-85% of the attributes of Krishna. But Brahma is anyhow more than Jiva, our ordinary Jivas. Brahma comes in contact with passion, but he is a Jiva empowered by Krishna. So 85% attributes has been given to Shiva, then less than 85 attributes, that is 75, 70, 75 has been given to Brahma. 100% is Krishna. 96% is Narayana. 4 qualities are yet missing. Venu Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Parivar Madhurya. They are missing in Narayana. So now, what the Jivas, they are less than even 50%. But the spiritual self-realized Jivas, those whose qualities go on increasing. Now, Bhaswan Yathashva Shakaleshu Nijeshu Tejaha Swiyam Kiyat Prakatayatya Pidatvadatra Brahmaeshu Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Namaham Bhajami. Brahmaji, he is compared to a diamond. Like how Krishna is compared to sun. This sun gives the light, that is why diamond shines. On the own, diamond doesn't shine. So Brahmaji in his own Brahma Samhita says, this is my position. My position is, I am just a stone. This stone is made to shine by Krishna. So because he has given us the power, or he says he has given me the power to create, to associate with Rajas, though Brahma, Shiva, they are not Rajas and Tamas. They are not in Rajas and Tamas. They are associating with this quality known as Rajas. Like Brahma is associating with Rajas, that is why creation happens. And then Shiva, Kshiram yata dati vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate nahi tata utagasti hetu yashambhutam api tata samapaiti karya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So compared with curd, Lord Shiva and Brahma and Krishna cannot be separated. It has been given here. So he has been given the task. Lord Shiva has been given the task of destruction. So creation, maintenance, destruction. Sthiti Adiye. That has been done with this guna, Sato, Rajas and Tamas. Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. But Vishnu is not just in ordinary Sattva. He is Vishuddha Sattva. He is only Vasudevam. Now here, Krishna has two types of avatars. These two types of avatars are related to two types of Shakti. These types of avatars, different avatars, they are related to two types of Shakti. Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti. Now, Chit Shakti, here all other avatars come, like Leela avatars, like Matsya, Kurma, they all come in Chit Shakti. In this Chit Shakti avatars, you can worship everyone because everybody is endowed with pure goodness. Krishna only. But Maya Shakti, that has been endowed with Sattva, Rajos and Tamas. Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva, they are related. They are related with Maya Shakti through Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Among them, Vishnu is only worshipped. So two types of Shakti in which Lord appears. Maya Shakti and Chit Shakti. In Chit Shakti, Krishna never loses any of his attributes. Maya, that is Matsya, Kurma, you name any avatar, Shirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, they are all coming in Vishnu, any of Vishnu, when you say all Vishnu, Leela avatars, Parashuram avatars, so many different avatars are there. All these avatars in Chit Shakti. And Maya Shakti means now Krishna is dealing with the three modes of material nature. Maya Shakti, the word itself, Maya Shakti, deals with three modes of material nature. Among them, Vishnu is worshipped because Vishnu is not touched by any material sattva. Okay, Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti. Now we are here talking about Maya Shakti. Avatari appears in two Shaktis, two ways. As in the Chit Shakti, he appears in different forms. In Maya Shakti, he appears in three forms. Now here what is spoken is Maya Shakti has been spoken, where Vishnu is worshipped. I hope it is clear. Okay, next. Parthivadharuno bhumas tasmad agni starimaya tamasastu rajas tasmad tattvam yad brahma darshanam. So we will chant the words afterwards. When we understand the words, then only we can chant the words. No? Parthivadharuno bhumas tasmad agni starimaya tamasastu rajas tasmad sattvam yad brahma darshanam. Parthiva Darunaha. What came from the earth? Daruna. Daru means wood, firewood. They are known as Daruna. Jagannath is Daru Brahma. Parthiva Daruno Dhumas. From this fire, what comes? Smoke comes. From the firewood, smoke is seen. Tasmadagnistraimayaha. Now, all these things are coming because there is a fire. Wood is there, fire is there, that is why smoke is there. Now, if you see which is the best, firewood is best, or smoke is best, or fire is best. What is best? What is best?
Fire is best.
Fire is best.
Fire.
What is the use of firewood if we don't ignite it. So firewood on its own is useless. But fire, more than firewood, which is good, smoke is good. More than smoke, what is good? Fire is good. Fire is there, smoke is there, isn't it? Fire is there, then smoke is there. If you compare all these things, then the wood says, hey, what about me? I am there, that is why you all are there, na? So there is a fight. Which is the best? But actually, if you see, fire is the best. Why? Because fire ignites. Fire is, now the firewood is ignited, and this fire is used for the rituals. Fire is used for cooking. Fire has different purposes. Okay, fire. Fire is better than smoke. Smoke is better than wood. Because wood is inert. It is just useless if you don't have anything. So if you compare here, firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than raw wood, and fire is still better. But then the fire and the firewood and the smoke will have fight. Fire will say, I am there, that is why you are also there. Smoke is not there. If I am not there, from where smoke will come? So they can have fight. But now let us see why this whole thing is spoken. Tamasastu rajas tasmaha sattvam yat brahma darshanam. They are compared. Tamas is compared to firewood, inert, not doing anything. Smoke is compared to rajas. Rajas is creation, smoke. And then fire is compared to sattva, that is knowledge. Knowledge. Fire means light. Light means knowledge. So rajas is better than tamas, and sato is better than rajas. So in this way, explanation has been given. What is good than in other? So here, knowledge arises from satoguna. From rajas, what we get? Greed. Rajas gives rise to greed. Tamas gives rise to lamentation, ignorance, confusion. That is why beyond this is greed. Better. Rajas is better. At least he works. And beyond rajas is sato, because knowledge arises from satoguna. So these are the three gunas: satas, tamas, rajas, and sato. For destruction or obscuring, it is tamas. For agitating or creation, it is rajas. For revealing the knowledge, it is sattva. Because of rajas, it's only agitation. Agitation and creation, you can say. Agitation, creation. Obscuring or destruction is tamas. Okay. So one can realize fire through the wood and not through the smoke. That is why tamas should be considered superior to rajas. Somebody can say. Somebody can say, yes, in the sleep, in the tamas, one can realize oneness with Atma. While you're working, you cannot do. I am just lying down. That is why I can realize Atma. They can fight with each other. Hey, rajas, you are just creating greed and making a person work in that working condition. What will he realize? Tamas can say, I am making a person sleep, lie down. In that, he can realize. So they can argue who is better, Brahma is better or Shiva is better. But the answer is Shiva is better. Shiva is better. So somebody can say Brahma is better or Shiva is better. Answer is actually Shiva is better because he has higher attributes. So there is a fight between tamas and rajas. But actually, if you see, all three are equal as they are avatars of the Lord. At the same time, unequal. Because Vishnu is not attached to any gunas. Brahma and Shiva are attached to gunas. So in this way, in the Puranas, difference and non-difference has also been spoken. Kalavataras, all three are equal because they are avatars. At the same time, they are unequal. That has been given. So here technically what has been spoken, that out of the three gunas, Sattva guna is the best because it gives knowledge. One can know about Lord. Sattvam sanjayate jnanam. Only by Sattvam one can accumulate knowledge. Okay, Bindu Mataji.
As explained above, one can get release from the conditioned life of material existence by devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is further comprehended herein that one has to rise to the platform of the mode of goodness, Sattva, so that one can be eligible for the devotional service of the Lord. But if we have impediments on the progressive path, anyone, even from the platform of Sama, can gradually rise to the Sattva platform by the expert direction of the spiritual master. Sincere candidates must therefore approach an expert spiritual master for such progressive march. And the bona fide expert spiritual master is competent to direct a disciple from any stage of life, tamas, rajas, or sattva.
Okay. Okay. Read till the end. Sachdev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It is a mistake, therefore, to consider that worship of any quality or any form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally beneficial, except Vishnu. Except Vishnu, all separated forms are manifested under the conditions of material energy. And therefore, the forms of material energy cannot help anyone to rise to the platform of Sattva, which alone can liberate a person from material bondage. The uncivilized state of life or the life of the lower animals is controlled by the mode of tamas. The civilized life of a man, with a passion for various types of material benefits, is the stage of rajas. The rajas stage of life gives a slight clue to the realization of the absolute truth in the forms of fine sentiments in philosophy, art, and culture with moral and ethical principles. But the mode of sattva is a still higher stage of material quality, which actually helps one in realizing the absolute truth. In other words, there is a qualitative difference between the different kinds of worshipping methods, as well as the respective results derived from the predominating deities, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Hare.
So this verse actually is the connecting verse of previous verse. Eka ihasa datte. One person has appeared in three forms. Siti ade hari virinchi hari iti samyaha. Hari virinchi hare riti samyaha. So Lord has appeared in three forms. Out of this three forms, Vishnu is the best. Or Vishnu, one gets benefit by worshipping Vishnu, ultimate benefit. So that has been given technically by speaking about Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So to make us understand better, the example is given of firewood, smoke, and fire. 25th verse. Bejire muni etagre, bejire muni yothagre. So we have completed the chanting of the words Parthiva Dharma Dhumas. No, I don't think. Okay. Venkatesh Prabhu, chant after me. Parthiva Dharuno Dhumas.
Parthiva Daruno Dhumas.
Tasmad Agni Strayi Mayaha.
Tasmat Agni Strayi Mayaha.
Tamasastu Rajas Tasmat.
Tamatastu Rajas Tasmat.
Tattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam.
Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam.
Okay. Sanjay Prabhu. Parthiva Dharuno Dhumas. Unmute yourself. Parthiva Dharuno Dhumas.
Parthiva Dharuno Dhumas.
Tasmat Agni Strayi Maya.
Tasmat Agnistrayi Maya.
Tamasastu Rajas Tasmat.
Tamastastu Rajas Tasmat.
Tattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam.
Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam.
Kanna Prabhu, you chant, I'll chant after.
Okay, Master. Parthivad daruno dhumas.
Parthivadharno dhumas.
Tasmadagni Svaimayaha.
Tasmadagnistrayimaya.
Tamasastu rajastasmat.
Tamasastu rajastasmat.
Sattvam yad brahma darshanam.
Tattvam yad brahma darshanam. Anybody wants to try?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, try.
Parthiva daruno dhumas.
Parthivadharno dhumas.
Tasmat agnistrayamaya.
Tasmadagnistrayamaya.
Tamasastu.
I also chanted wrong.
Okay. Tasmad agnistrayimaya.
Tasmadagnistrayimaya.
Tasmastu rajas tasmat. नहीं तमसस्तु रजस तस्मात्
Tamasastu rajastasmat.
सत्वं यद् ब्रह्म दर्शनम्.
Sattvam yad brahma darshanam. Okay. Now we'll chant 25th verse. Tejare muniyothagraya bhagavan nadokshajam bhagavantam madokshajam sattvam vishuddha shemaya kalpante tenutaniha. Vejire muniyothagraya bhagavantam madokshajam sattvam vishuddham shemaya kalpante yenutaniha. Vejire munayothaagre bhagavantam madhokshajam sattvam vishuddham shemaya kalpante yenutaniha. Vejire rendered service muneyaha thagre atha agrehe. Agre means previously. Who rendered service? Muneyaha, the sages rendered service to Krishna. Bhagavantam madhokshajam, they rendered service to Adhokshaja. Sattvam vishuddha kshemaya. Sattvam vishuddham is above the three modes of material nature. That is his existence. Sattvam. How is his existence? Vishuddha sattvam. Vishuddha sattvam. That is his existence. Above the three modes of material nature. Shemaya. Why is appeared? To derive the Shemaya, to derive the ultimate benefit, they worshipped Krishna. Kalpante yenutaniha. So if we have to derive ultimate benefit, then we have to serve whom? We have to serve those sages who have served Krishna. To derive, whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. Vejire muniyothaagre agrehe, in the past. Vejire muneyaha. Vejire, they rendered service. Vejire comes from the word bhajan. Vejire. Bhagavantam adhokshajam. Bhagavantam adhokshajam. Adhokshaja has been worshipped by the great sages. Sattvam vishuddha shemaya. Sattvam vishuddham. How is Vasudeva? He is adhokshajam. How is he? Sattvam vishuddham. Vishuddha sattvam. How is his existence? Completely beyond the three modes of material nature. Shemaya. If we have to derive the benefit, then yenutaniha. We have to kalpante yenutaniha. If we really deserve, how we can deserve this benefit? By following the footprints of great sages. Okay. So Mohit Prabhu, please read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. The purpose of performing religion is neither to profit by material gain nor to get the simple knowledge of discerning matter from spirit. The ultimate aim of religious performances is to release oneself from material bondage and regain the life of freedom in the transcendental world where the personality of Godhead is the supreme person. Laws of religion are therefore directly enacted by the personality of Godhead, and except the Mahajanas or the authorized agents of the Lord, no one knows the purpose of religion. There are 12 particular agents of the Lord who know the purpose of religion, and all of them render transcendental service unto him. Persons who desire their own good may follow these Mahajanas and thus attain the supreme benefit.
Okay. How is Krishna's body? Completely Chit Shakti. Krishna has complete knowledge, Chit Shakti, and is beyond the three modes of material nature. Okay. Now we'll chant this verse. Vimalangi Mataji, chant after me. Bejire Muniyo Thagre.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, Bhejire Munayotya Thagre.
Bhagavantam Madokshajam.
Bhagwantam Madokshajam.
Sattam Vishuddham Shemaya.
Sattvam Visuddham Shemaya.
Kalpante Yenutaniha.
Kalpante Nutanniha.
Yenu. Okay.
Yenutanniha.
Mataji, you chant and I will chant. Usha.
हाँ माताजी.
Usha Mataji.
अच्छा उषा माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. बेजिरे मुनयोताग्रे.
Bejire Muniyothagre.
भगवन्तं अदोक्षजम्.
Bhagavantam Madhokshajam.
सत्त्वं विशुद्धं क्षेमाय.
Sattam Vishuddham Shemaya.
कल्पन्ते ये नुत्तानिह.
Kalpante Yenutaniha. Anita, you have the book with you?
I'll repeat after you, Mataji.
Bejire Muniyothagre.
Deji Muni Yothagre.
Bhagavantam Madhokshajam.
Bhagwantam Adokshajam.
Sattvam Vishuddham Shemaya.
Tattvam Vishuddham Shemaya.
Kalpante Yenutaniha.
Kalpante Imanya.
Okay, 26. Mumukshavo ghora rupa itva bhutapatim yatha narayana kada shanta bhajanti anasuyavaha. Mumukshavo ghora rupa itva bhutapatim yatha narayana kada shanta bhajanti anasuyavaha. Mukshavo ghora rupan itva bhutapatim natha narayana kala shanta bhadanti yanasuyavaha. Ramakrishna Prabhu, chant after me. Mumukshavo ghora rupan
Mumukshavo ghora rupan
itva bhutapatin atha
hitva bhuta patin atha
narayana kala shanta
narayana kala shanta
bhajanti yanasuyavaha.
bhajanti anasuyavaha.
Very good. Okay. Madhuri Mantari. You chant and I'll chant.
मुमुक्षवो घोररूपान्.
Mumukshavo ghora rupan
हित्वा भूतपतिनता.
itva bhutapatin natha
नारायण कलाशान्ता.
narayana kala shanta
भजन्ति हि अनसूयवः.
bhajanti yanasuyavaha. Yanasuyavaha. So it is he, Anna, to say Yara. Yanasuyavaha. Okay. So we are rejecting now. Mumukshavo. Mumukshavo means persons who are desiring liberation. Ghora Rupa Hitva. Hitva means one should reject all these Ghora Rupa. What are the Ghora Rupa? Ghora Rupa of Brahma. Especially Ghora Rupa here refers to Shivas. Shiva Ghora Rupas. The different devatas. Shiva, very frightful form of Shiva. What is the frightful form of Shiva? Rudra. Then you have any other form of Shiva?
Kala Bhairav.
Kala Bhairav. Yes. So Mumukshavo, those who desire liberation, Hitva, we should give up the worship of such Ghora Rupa. Bhutapati, Bhutapatihi. The Bhutapati are the demigods. Just give up their worship. Very clearly it has been given. Hitva, give up. But what Krishna has told, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Very nicely has been explained here. Mumukshavo ghora rupan hitva bhutapati natha Hitva. Purarupan, okay, she was Kala Bhairavi. Then you will say, oh, Ganapati is very pleasing. But here very clearly it has been told, Bhutapati, all the demigods also give up all the worship of demigods. Narayana Kala Shanta. Just pray Narayana. Narayana, that has been given. Or his plenary portions, not a problem. You worship his plenary portions, avatars. Bhajanti, worship them. How? Anasuyavaha, without offending the demigods. Without offending the demigods, just be worshipper of Narayana. That is what we say in the second also. Second Namaprad. What is the second Namaprad? What is the second Namaprad? Anybody can say?
Considering Shiva, Brahma, and all is equal to the Supreme Lord.
Equal or separate from them. Neither they are equal nor they are separate. So without disrespecting them, just worship Narayana. Just worship Narayana. Very clearly, Hitva. Hitva means give up. Mumukshavo, Ghora Rupan, Hitva, Bhuta Patin Atha. Just give up the worship of Ghora Rupas. Worshipping Kali, Durga. Just give up all the worship very clearly. That is why in your altar, there should be only Narayana and his sevaks. Then you say all the demigods are also sevaks. You can keep them down there. If you really wish them to keep, and then understand that they are all sevak. Don't ask anything to them. Ask to Krishna if you want. And even if you're asking to them, you understand that they have been given the power to give by Krishna only. That is why don't disrespect them. At the same time, you don't have to worship them. Just to worship Narayana or his Kala. Okay. Milind Prabhu, please read. Three paragraphs you read. 3 paragraphs you read. After that, next,
okay.
4th, 5th, 6th will be read by Ramakrishna Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is the original person of the Vishnu categories, expands himself into 2 different categories, namely the integrated plenary portions and separated parts and parcels. The separated parts and parcels are the servitors, and the integrated plenary portions of Vishnu Tattva are the worshipful objects of service. All demigods who are empowered by the Supreme Lord are also separated parts and parcels. They do not belong to the categories of Vishnu Tattva. The Vishnu Tattvas are living beings equally as powerful as the original form of the personality of Godhead, and they display different categories of power in consideration of different times and circumstances. The separated parts and parcels are powerful by limitations. They do not have unlimited powers like the Vishnu Tattvas. Therefore, one should never classify the Vishnu Tattvas or the plenary portions of the Narayana, the personality of Godhead, in the same category with the parts and parcel. If anyone does so, he becomes at once the offender by the name Pasandi. In the age of Kali, many foolish persons commit such unlawful offenses and equalize the 2 categories. The separated parts and parcels have different positions in the estimation of material powers, and some of them, like Kal Bhairava, Smashana Bhairava, Shani, Mahakali, Chandika, these demigods are worshipped mostly by those who are in the lowest category of modes of darkness or ignorance. Other demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Surya, Ganesha, and many similar deities are worshipped by them in the mode of passion, urged on by the desire for material enjoyment. But those who are actually situated in the mode of goodness, Sattva Guna, of material nature, worship only Vishnu Tattvas. Vishnu Tattvas are represented by the various names and forms such as Narayana, Damodara, Vamana, Govinda, and Adokshaja. Hare Krishna Mata.
Okay. Next.
The qualified Brahmanas worship the Vishnu Tattvas represented by the Salagrama Shila, and some of the higher castes like the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas also generally worship the Vishnu Tattvas. Highly qualified Brahmanas situated in the mode of goodness have no grudges against the mode of worship of others. They have all respect for other demigods, even though they may look ghastly like Kalabhairava or Mahakali. They know very well that these horrible creatures of the Supreme Lord are all different servitors of the Lord under different conditions, yet they reject the worship of both horrible and attractive features of the demigods. And they concentrate only on the forms of Vishnu because they are serious about liberation from the material conditions. The demigods, even to the stage of Brahma, the supreme of all the demigods, cannot offer liberation to anyone. Hiranyakashipu underwent a severe type of penance to become eternal in life, but his worshipful deity Brahma could not satisfy him with such blessings. Therefore, Vishnu and none else is called Muktipada, or the personality of Godhead, who can bestow upon us Mukti, liberation. The demigods, being like other living entities in the material world, are all liquidated at the time of the annihilation of the material structure. They are themselves unable to get liberation, and what to speak of giving liberation to their devotees. The demigods can award the worshippers some temporary benefit only and not the ultimate one. It is for this reason only that candidates for liberation deliberately reject the worship of the demigods, although they have no disrespect for any one of them. Hare Krishna.
Yes. It's for this reason that candidate for liberation. If you want liberation, then that's why Mumukshavu has been given. If you want entanglement, we can worship. But if you want to be liberated, what is the meaning of liberation? Yes, Raksha.
Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavastita.
So if you want to know our Swarupa, then they deliberately reject the worship of demigods, although they have no disrespect for any one of them. Okay, so here we will stop. Any questions you can ask.
Mataji, Lord Shiva can give liberation, na? Or no?
Vishnu is only for liberation.
Okay,
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mataji, what we have learned is that every individual has a relationship with the Lord, which he has to, which he has forgotten, and needs to re-establish that relationship. So when we went to the 14 stages, so which of the stage where you realize what is the position, what is your relation with the Lord?
From the stage of Sadhu Sangha. Shraddha is developed. Then Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu will teach what is our relationship. And then we will engage by hearing process only. Na? After the Sadhu Sangha, only hearing process comes. At that stage only we can start beginning to realize. And technically, if you see the moment you have adopted the bhakti process, there itself some small realization has come that bhakti is most important. So mercy also we can say by mercy, though it may not be very much conscious, that we are not so conscious that we have realized, but at least the stage has started.
So you can serve the Lord at Dasya stage, Sakya stage. So when do we realize, that this is
which stage?
The Sakya. You can serve the Lord in Sakya stage, Dasya stage. So what is our position? When do we realize that position?
We're all Dasya.
Sorry?
See, everybody is Dasya. Even in the Sakya also is Dasya, in Vasala also is Dasya. So common one thing is there with everybody is Dasya. Only at the stage of Bhava, Prema, a person is made to realize his original position. That time one realizes. But you will not disclose to everybody, I'm a Gopi of Vrindavan. No.
Thank you, Mataji.
Sachidev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, you said devotee can see Lord in his mind and experience with his eyes. So my question is this, that when we are hearing pastime from you, then there also we are seeing the Lord in the mind. So how do we differentiate what you said?
Even when we are hearing the pastimes, When we are able to see Krishna within the mind, that is also Krishna's mercy.
Yeah.
But
Next
still,
question
we
is
cannot
Mataji.
directly relate it to the direct last stage. We are now like children. They have a lot of imaginations. So sometimes we start imagining also. But one is directly experiencing, directly seeing, for which mercy is. Even to imagine that also is not so easy. Connect
Just
it,
now,
imagine it.
just now, what we are hearing from you, transcendental pastime, we are imagining.
What? What did you say?
We are hearing from you transcendental stories. So are we imagining that in our mind at this stage of ours?
But half I could not hear. Last, what was the question? What is the question?
My question was that we are hearing the transcendental pastimes. So we are at what stage? We are at least I am at what stage? Is it the stage of
We are at the
imagining?
Anartha Nivritti stage, and in between Anartha Nivritti stage and Nishtha. Faith is now becoming stronger and stronger.
Next
And
question,
if Krishna's
Mataji,
mercy is there, Ruchi Asakti, everything will come.
Mataji, you said Lord Vishnu Shuddha connected with Shuddha Sattva. Then Lord Vishnu is also for maintenance of the world, creation, maintenance, destruction. So
What is
then
he called?
how
What is he called?
Lord Vishnu is connected to Shuddha Sattva, pure mode of goodness. And Lord Vishnu is also looking after the maintenance. So then he is also connected to the material. So how can he is connected to both? Or
Though
is
he
it
is
different Vishnus?
performing the main, that is why here Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur very clearly writes, though he is performing the work of the maintenance, but still he is not connected with the material mode of Sato.
Then who is doing the maintenance?
Hmm?
Who is doing the maintenance?
Krishna is only doing. It is Paramatma who is residing in everyone's heart, but still unaffected by the three modes of material nature. It is Lord as Paramatma, Vishati iti Sarvatra Vishnu.
Okay. Last question. Mataji, you said Lord Brahma is a Jiva. Lord Shiva is not a Jiva. But in certain cases, if in a universe no correct soul is found, then Lord takes the form of Lord Brahma. If in the universe there is no, because for becoming Lord Brahma, you have to have some 100 perfect Varnashram system. Or
Yeah, the
something
Jiva
like
who has perfected in his Varnashrama gets the opportunity to become Brahma.
Yeah, but if there is no such Jiva in that universe, if there is no such Jiva in the universe, then Lord himself becomes Lord Brahma. He takes the position
Then
of Lord.
Lord doesn't become, Lord empowers his Nitya Mukta. Lord empowers one of the Vaikuntavasis to take the position. Lord does not become Ganapati. Lord empowered Nitya Mukta to become Ganesha. If there is nobody, then Lord will empower someone from his Vaikuntha Loka.
Last question, Mataji. You said a lot about Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, and all that. But we have learned also that one should not desire for Lord Narayan Vaikuntha. Considered as a wish. I don't know. I've listened so many. I mean, I've
Only in
read
the
it so
Rasa
many times.
Tattva. In the Rasa Tattva, if a person is in the rasa of sweetness, then he is not desiring for Narayan.
Yeah,
But we yet have to reach Narayana first.
yeah, but why go there? Why not go direct? You take us direct there now.
It depends on what he is attracted to. Is he attracted to the sweetness or opulence?
If he's attracted to Aishwarya, then Lord Narayan. If he's attracted to the rasa sweetness, then go there. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Moving on. Yes, Vrindavan Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, it may sound little controversial, but I thought I'll just ask. If you deem right, you please answer. Mataji, at many places we see that demigod worship has been condemned. Even in Bhagavad Gita, there are so many verses giving that kind of meaning. But somewhere I feel like it's not exactly worship, but then our Vedic culture, it's very much deeply steeped in the concepts of personalism and gratitude, because we all know that they are all personalities and they are rendering such wonderful services to the Lord, and we express our gratitude to
Yes.
those devatas.
Anasuyava.
Yes.
And then Ganapati is worshipped so that kleshas are removed.
Yes, yes.
But here, what is the question? If you desire liberation, then don't worship them, worship Krishna.
Yes. No, I was just
if you desire to remove the obstacles, worship Ganesha.
Sure, yes.
If you want to have strength to worship Krishna, worship Durga, Surya Devata. No problem. No problem in worshipping the demigods. But if you want to desire liberation, only Narayana. That has been told. That is why Anasuyavaha has been very clearly said, don't disrespect them. Express the gratitude.
Actually, generally what happens, like people are generally told, no, you will just not have any kind of feelings towards them. It's only Krishna and Krishna. Means that's a very wrong concept and understanding.
Without the worship of Ganesha.
No,
without worship of Ganesha, Hindu culture doesn't start any worship.
Very true.
And technically, if you see in the Vedic worship, it is like if you see in the in Vaishnava worship, Vishwakshena is worship.
Yes.
Who is the ultimate source of strength of Ganesha?
Mm-hmm.
Elephant form of Krishna. So it is not told don't worship. If you want liberation, don't worship. Lord Shiva is not in tamas. Very clearly, Laghu Bhagavata Amrita has been told Lord Shiva has a position. No doubt. But Lord Shiva is worshipped to have such wonderful qualities. Shiva itself means auspiciousness. To have all the auspicious gunas, what he has, that he is able to attract Krishna, that all qualities should be there in us. That is why we are worshipping Lord Shiva, so that we attain gunas like him. Why a girl worships Shiva or Durga? So that she gets a nice husband. She worships Durga to get a nice husband like Shiva. So Shiva is a Vaishnava.
Yes. Yes.
That's true.
But Mataji, I must say there are very few, even like I'm talking about devotees only, there are very few devotees who have actually understood the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Like when he has written many purports, it's basically targeted at the audience, like he was addressing Western audience. So Pashyatya Desha Tarine, he is basically writing everything for their Taran.
Because they were not knowing anything, and if he confuses them, that is why he has not confuse them. One pointed, okay, just worship. But what happened is, when they learn something, they have only learned one side.
Very true.
So when they speak in such a way, they just criticize the Indian culture. Our Indian culture is to offer Bharatiya culture. What Indian Bharatiya culture is to offer gratitude.
Very true.
Because Srila Prabhupada's purpose has to be understood in a proper context. That's why we have to, when we read Srila Prabhupada's purport, we have to read also from Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. We have to read. At that time, they have never criticized any demigods. That's why here also Acharyas have not criticized. Anasuyavaha has been very clearly mentioned by Srila Bhakti's, by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, without criticizing any demigod.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really nice to hear. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Any other doubt?
Mataji, I want to add that you said regarding respecting demigods, you have taught us that we should respect them by looking at the angle that Krishna resides in their hearts.
They are far better than us.
Yes.
They are taking care of the administration. We have no rights to criticize us. So we are just very
Because I remember 2-3 years back when I was 2-3 years back when I was calling you and I said something about against Lord Indra, Then you told me, why are you criticizing him? Why are you criticizing the demigod? I said, but we are not supposed to what? So you said, no, we have to respect them by seeing the angle of Krishna in their hearts. Hare Krishna.
Vimla Mata, do you have any doubt?
No.
Stop here. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Mataji.
प्रभुपाद की जय हो।
जय